just wanted to welcome everybody to Spanky's Express, this little eating place opened by Gary DeVincent about a year ago. I'm just getting a quick burger before I head over to the UVU Auto and Motorcycle Expo for 2009. I don't want to forget the swap meet part of it, which is the largest swap meet, automotive swap meet in Utah. We're going to feature this year the collections of Dave Kindig. Dave has had Utah's finest at the Autorama for I think 3 out of the last 5 years. Probably the elite builder of automobiles and hot rods in Utah. He's got a fabulous collection here today, so we've probably got about 30 of his cars that he's built. Our next feature will be Dwayne Ashby. Dwayne has been with the show 3 or 4 years now. He brings concours, older cars, and has a fabulous collection. So we really appreciate Dwayne being part of the show and bringing the cars that you just don't normally see in Utah. We also have a collection of Mustangs featured by Todd Besendorf and Doug Lichty, and they are local, and they brought we've got everything from the Super Snakes right there, the KR 500s, fabulous collection of Mustangs. We also are going to have live music today played by Plan B. We'll be playing the rock and roll tunes twice today. We've got an automotive auction we're going to do later in the day for different funds for the auto trades at UVU, and then we've got a bunch of other things. Plus, hopefully, we're going to have over 700 cars this year. And like I said, everything that we generate from the show goes to the UVU Auto Trades, and that's why we're doing the show. So, everybody, I'm going to finish up here and get my burger, and then we're going to head out and go to the show, and we'll talk to you later.
We want to thank you for coming to the cruise and the Auto Expo and being involved with it. I'm Don Wilson. I'm serving currently as the department chair. Tyler Stone is the recipient of one of the scholarships this year, and I just want you to meet him.
I'm in the automotive program. It's the same program my dad went through, and he went through the same program here when it was at technical school, so it's made a lot of progress in the last many years. But I just want to say thanks, and it helps out a lot, so thank you.
Dave Kindig from Kindig It Design. I was commissioned by the hot rod gods to void all warranties. No, actually brought out a bunch of our cars celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and so we're just going to enjoy the day. It's a great show, great cause, and couldn't ask for better weather. These are all clients' cars we've built over the last 10 years. So we've got some of the new ones, some of the cars that we built back in '02. The big truck has actually lasted 10 years. It was kind of fun to see that one. I haven't seen it for 10 years. That was my first clients. I've got my favorites. You know, the 32 Ford Roadster I built for Bill Williams, that was a really unique car. It's one Utah's finest. It's done really well in all other competitions, including the Amber competition. 37 Chevy's done really well, and that's a great car because it's very sculpted. That's probably my favorite cars, is ones that you can sculpt. So even down to the orange bug that we built back in 2002, it was on the cover of Hot VWs. It was fun because it was a challenge to make it not look just like a normal old Volkswagen. How I got into this, I just kind of fell into it. I was always drawing cars as a hobby since elementary school. Playing with Legos and Hot Wheels cars is where I got my design and engineering degree. Design, the upholstery, the body, the metal fab, the shaping, the engineering, paint, everything's done in-house. Self-contained, self-taught, and terribly lucky.
My name is Todd Bessendorfer, and got into Mustangs about 1991 with a little GT 500 convertible, and took it everywhere, drove the heck out of it. We took it camping, four-wheel drive, and subsequently joined the local car club, the Northern Utah Mustang Owners Association, and had a lot of fun with that. And then when they came out with the 2005s, I kind of liked those, but waited till they had something special out, which was the Shelbys. And this was my first Shelby here, the orange convertible, and got fortunate enough to have a bit of a land sale, and ended up buying another one, kind of spur of the moment on that one, but we ended up making it a Super Snake to make it kind of special. So we got those two cars. I've also got a 68 one. It's not running right now. Of course, I've got being into the cars, I've got a couple projects going too, but those are kind of down the road. These have been, had so much fun with these, it's been hard to to get around and do anything else. But really enjoy them. Love to drive them. Had the Super Snake out to the track, and it's just a hoot. It's just absolutely love it.
All right, sounds good, man.
I'm Doug Lichty. I own Doug's Auto Inc. in Orem, Utah. Been driving Mustangs almost my whole life. I left home at 16 years old, bought my first Mustang when I was 15. I used to buy and sell Mustangs to pay my rent in high school. And Mustangs is our specialty. We work on all kinds of cars, but Mustangs really make us happy and we love them. 3 of my 4 kids have owned Mustangs, and 2 of them currently own them. My wife's a collector. Hers is, they're all both of ours, but her baby's the Mach 1 over here, the orange Mach 1. But we were lucky enough to get one of the new GT500 King of the Road Mustangs. We did the museum delivery option, picked it up at the Shelby plant, toured the plant, had lunch with the, not Carroll himself, he wasn't there, but with the vice president of Shelby and the president of KR Marketing, and toured all their facilities, their research and development facilities. But we're grateful to have them, grateful to be in a position to have them. We like to share them. We race them, we show them, we cruise. And go over the list real quick. The latest one is the 08 Triple Black GT500 King of the Road. Then we have an 08 GT500 that has our Doug's Auto Stage 3 package on it. It's got a big Kenny bell, it's supposed to have 800 horsepower. Then we have an 07 Celine Extreme behind us. They made less than 100 Extremes, and as far as I know, only 6 with the glass roof. It has the scenic roof. And then behind you is the 07 Orange GT500 Shelby. Then on the end is the Ford GT Supercar. It's a 2005. They only made those for 2 years. It's a legitimate over a 200-mile-an-hour car, about $200,000, but it'll beat the Ferraris and Lambos. Yep, when it was brand new, just driving it home from San Antonio, they saw us filling up in the middle of the night. They were doing a shift change at a Chevron station, and they took me out to an airport, wanted to see it go, but it was a short runway, only 7,500 feet, less than a mile and a half. I was able to do 0 to 180 and back to 0 in less than a mile and a half in a stock GT that was barely broke in. Now mine's modified, and I'd love to do the Texas mile and hit like 226 or something. But and then the older car, we have one classic, the 1970 Mach 1. It's a factory 4-speed air car with shaker hood, louvers, wing. It has 60,000 original miles. Thank you.
I got 600, now 6.5. You able to buy, divided by 6.5. Anybody else now? I got 600. Here's a bargain right now. Hands in the air, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bargain. Not 6.5, not 700. You able to buy, divided by 700. This is a bargain right here.
My name is Scott Christopherson. It's a 1920 Dodge Brothers race car. It has a 229 flathead 4 with a supercharger.
this a Dwayne Ashmead collection?
Yes, from Dwayne Ashmead collection.
President of Kirker Motorsports. These are the cars that we make. We make them at an old MiG Fighter factory in Poland. Started 14 years ago. And we hand make the bodies. We take flat sheets of aluminum and literally they're made by hand. We fold them, bend them, hammer them over dies, and they're hand welded together, oxy, acetylene. We're one of the few people left in the world that know how to do that. And like for instance, there's a weld right here. You can't see. Weld that comes across here. The body's made out of about 17 different pieces, all handmade. It's hand planished out and polished. We sell them all over the world.
And a little bit ago at this show,
one day my brother and I found ourselves looking at an old MiG that was made at that factory in Poland, and he turned to me and he said, "You realize that these guys can make aluminum-bodied Cobras?" And they were desperate for work. The wall had come down. And I packed my bags and left BYU and took off to Poland. That's how it started. We went over there, we contracted with the aircraft factory for a very short while, maybe a year and a half, and then we ended up buying part of the factory over there. So today we own it. We've produced about 700 cars. That copper one's one of them.
Sold all over the world, huh?
Everywhere. Germany, you name it. Japan, Mexico, South America. All over Europe.
We've wrapped up another show for 2009. We've had a great day showing the collections. Like I said earlier, we had the collections of Dave Kindig, Todd Besendorf, Doug Lichtke, and we had Dwayne Ashmead. Had some great collections. We also had some live music today by Plan B, the group we've had for the last 3 or 4 years, and they're getting better and better. We've also at our show had Eileen Roth, who's been there the last few years. Had Big Daddy Roth's wife, and she's had her booth and everything set up. So we had a fine day. We had a collection of over 720 cars. including motorcycles, and we're hoping next year maybe we can hit the big 800. So next year we're going to wrap it up here at Spanky's. We're back here to finish up with a milkshake for the day, and then next year we'll be looking at 2010, and this will be our 23rd year of doing the UVU Auto Expo and Motorcycle Show, along with swap meet. Shouldn't forget that. So anyway, we'll see you next year in May. Thank you.
Story, General Manager at Timpanogos Harley-Davidson. We're the largest motorcycle sales shop south of Salt Lake. We are in a 60,000 square foot building composed mostly of remanufactured material from Geneva steel. We got in the UVU Auto Show to help them do a bike show correctly, and also to help benefit the college in their scholarship funds. That's kind of our way of giving back to the community. We will sell out of this dealership this year about 700 motorcycles, plus all the clothing, parts, and service that all of those will need.
How long have you been in this building?
We've been in this building, it'll be a year on May 29th. We've been in business since June 1st of 2006.
Isn't this one of the most unique dealerships and buildings around?
It is. In fact, Willie G. Davidson kind of declared it the resort. The idea for all of the material in the building, using all this old remanufactured stuff and the way it's put in here, was my partner, Dave Camisto. He has a kind of a visionary type of view of the world. He sees things as they are and how they'll be when they're done. He's pretty gifted individual.
Bert. I'm in the service department at Timpanogos Harley-Davidson. Today we're participating in UVC's Auto and Motorcycle Show. Timpanogos Harley-Davidson is sponsoring the motorcycle end of the show this year. And as you can see, these are most of our motorcycles we have here. There is a ride for armed forces going on right now. We should have some more bikes coming in before the day's out. I've been working for Timpanogos for going on 2 years now. I've been in the business for about 12.
How do you like the new facility there?
I think it's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. It's recycled material. We're a green dealership, and green is the way to go.
Do you have a Harley yourself?
I actually have 3 of them.
Zach Daly. I'm with TJD Customs, located down in Provo. This is a 2005 Yamaha V-Star that's been stretched and raked, custom painted by Travis Teagarden, custom edge artwork, custom handlebar forks.
Is this work you would do yourself?
Yes, I built the whole bike myself. We do custom fabricating. I've been doing it now with the bikes for about 3 years. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a passion, it's a hobby. I built this bike in memory of my little brother that passed away. It was his bike. He totaled the bike out standing straight up on it and fell off. The bike was ghost ridden into a wall and broke the frame, the forks. So I just wanted a memory piece, something to build for him, something that he would have enjoyed.
It's a 2009 home built trike, powered by a Volkswagen engine built by Ace and from Murray, and it's built from the ground up. Oh, for the love of it! Started in October and finished it 3 weeks ago. The state classifies it as an unknown on the make, but I built this. My son and I built it from scratch, and it's a lot of fun to have. It's even funner to drive it.
And you're Jim?
Jim Matson. It's a trike. Yeah.
I'm Ray Campbell. I'm the chairman of the event and have been for like 19 years. Our 16th year here at Barber Brothers. So, and I think by the time we hit 4:30, somewhere around there, we should have 100 cars here. Got a great forecast, and of course tomorrow the car show.
You get some good motorcycles for now tomorrow.
Yeah, and they've got some cash prizes which they put in for incentives. So I think we'll see 100 and something motorcycles tomorrow. Probably some pretty nice ones.
What you been doing to your Chevy this year?
This year, I did most of it the year before and stuff. I really haven't done a whole lot to it. So other than just fix a few little things, you know, like the leaking water outlet gasket and stuff, I haven't done a lot this year, but there's still things to do.
You enjoying it though?
Oh yeah, the car runs good.
Either one of those yours? Can you help us? Thank you very much. 3:36 now on 3 Dog Night. There's a show coming up called the Cache Valley Cruise-In. Cache Valley Cruise-In is one of the largest shows that we have here in the summertime. It's up in Cache Valley, it's in the Logan area. And live in concert at the Cache Valley Cruise-In.
I'm Steve, Miss Sandy Kratzer.
Car show and a concert.
And I'm just the wife. This is the girlfriend. He spends all his time with her.
Hi, my name's Jesse. I got the 55 Chrysler Windsor and the 65 Chevy pickup. Oh, I love it. This is the 3rd year we come to it, and it's just amazing.
What about the cruise?
The cruise is our favorite part.
What have you done this year?
A lot of elbow grease on the cars to keep them looking good.
Hi, I'm Gloria Sainz, and I have the privilege of driving a 65 Chevy pickup fleet side. And it's fun. We're back at Barber Brothers.
You like to cruise too?
I love to cruise, so we're a cruising couple. I enjoy the part of seeing the grandpas with their young kids and telling them how they used to have a car or their grandpa used to have a car, so that's what I get the thrill of.
I'm Ron Overson from Benjamin, Utah. This is my 57 Chev Bel Air. We bought it out of San Jose, California back in 2000. And after that I restored it, put a new paint job on it, put new upholstery in it, put a new engine in it. It's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed doing it.
What did it look like when you got it?
It was in pretty good shape, but you get looking up close to it and you can see a lot of rust spots in it. So we sanded it down to bare metal and took out the rust spots.
How'd you learn how to do all this?
Well, I didn't paint it, so I just did the labor work, just the sanding part of it. Then I had it professionally painted.
Well, how long have you had it now? 2000?
Since 2000, so I've had it almost 9 years now.
Beautiful paint job.
Well, thank you.
I'm Paul Simmons.
And what you got?
I got a 71 Mustang Mach 1.
Where'd you get this car?
About 20 years ago I bought it. I still had a full head of hair and the car still looked nice. And we've just kept it ever since then. The reason why we got it out here, we've been storing it in a barn, and my kids have been hitting me up to get it out. They want to go for a ride in it. So a couple of days ago we decided to get it out, and we tried to play around with it and got it running, and here we are with it, taking it for drives. And
what else are you going to do with this? Anything?
Well, my kids are still little enough they still like me. When they get teenagers, they don't care about me. I'm going to restore this thing. And but we like to get out and drive around once in a while because it doesn't like to sit. You know, it's like last time it sat for about 5 years, and I just keep everything fresh on stuff because
still runs pretty good. Huh?
Yeah, still runs nice and everything. Everything's all the mechanical's been all rebuilt on it.
Okay, my name is Ben Lee. I've got a 2007 Charger SRT8. What we've got is we've got a hood scoop light to kind of go with the Knight Rider. The whole car has been done in the Autobot theme for the Transformers movie. We've got a prototype part here. It's a single generation filler glass radiator hose. It's glass radiator hose made from the same material as windows on the Space Shuttle. Super strong. We paint matched the tail lights, the fog lights, the side markers, and smoked out the headlights. And we paint matched this custom trunk lid that I made myself. Interior red lights all the lights are being replaced with red lights. It's got the Autobot, the Transformers theme. That's usually what gets people's attention. So, yeah, it's a fun car to work on.
I'm Charlie Beater. I live in Springville, and I have a 205 Lotus Elise that has 190 horsepower. The car only weighs 1,975 pounds. So for the weight ratio compared to horsepower, it's a pretty quick little car. They say it's a high-speed go-kart. That's kind of what I would explain it as. So it's quick on turns. It does really well in the canyons and on turns and things. Colin Chapman, the designer of Lotus back in the old days, he had all different kind of Lotus. I was watching on the internet, watched along for quite a while before I decided on this one. This one comes out of Oregon, but they all come from Hethel, England. They were made in Hethel. This one was made in Hethel, England. I bought it out of Oregon, Portland, Oregon, from a Ferrari dealership that had a guy traded in. But it's still pretty brand new.
My name is Jay Briner, and we have a 2007 Shelby GT500, which has been turned into a Shelby 427 Super Snake. We purchased the car 3 years ago from Barber Brothers in Morgan, Utah, and we just completed the Super Snake package done at Las Vegas, Nevada. The car boasts 725 horsepower, along with other amenities and upgrades from Shelby in Las Vegas, Nevada.
What's the best thing you like about it?
The best thing I like about the car is it's very drivable with all the horsepower. But when you want the power, it's sitting right there at your hand. You just downshift and you have a lot of power. You have air conditioning, satellite radio, and with all the horsepower of any car out there. So we really enjoy the car.
Okay, I'm Brian Messick. I drive a 1940 Chiv sedan delivery. It's had a lot of modifications on the body. Suspension's all been changed out, hot rodded out. Run a 350 with a kind of a different transmission, a 3-speed standard overdrive. It's a little different. Gets good mileage that way though.
You've had this a number of years, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually got the car in about 86 and I've been driving it since about 94.
Don't see too many deliveries, do you?
Not a lot, especially in this vintage. It's pretty rare.
Who are you?
Paul Lassen,
What you got?
1955 Bel Air,
How long have you had this car?
since February of 1965.
Well, that's quite a few years, huh?
Yep.
What did you add to do to it?
Oh, everything. it's complete ground up restoration. Frame off, everything.
Didn't look that good when you got it, then, huh?
No, it didn't.
Hey, talk to us.
Okay, about what?
Who you are, what you got?
Okay, David Franson. Got an 06 Dodge Charger, full customed out, 518 horsepower. All the stainless, bells and whistles. And we're actually advertising for the Delta Car Show. We're bringing it back this year. So I hope everybody can come out to make that one.
I just shined the car. That's my job. I'm Bryce Franson. I'm David's brother.
Hey, we got some prizes we're going to give away.
You guys won a prize last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I won the gun safe last year. And it was great. I loved it. I was surprised. And it's full.
We do have it mapped out.
My name is Earl Beardall. I got a 55 Chiv half-ton short bed, painted green, flamed a little bit. Got a small block 400 in it, turbo, 400 tranny, 56 rear end, disc brakes front and back. I got a Valori front end in it. What more can I say? It's fun to drive.
How long have you had this?
It's been about a 20-year working project.
That's all, just 20 years.
Well, you know, a little longer.
All right, thanks a lot.
You betcha.
My name's John Dino. I'm from Draper, Utah. This is my 1934 Ford Cabriolet.
How'd you come by this car?
I bought it 7 years ago. I've been building it ever since.
You bought it?
Yes.
What did it look like 7 years ago?
Frame and a body. That's all it was when I started, yes. Everything else was bought separately and put all together, and this is our first season with the car, and we're in the shakeout period right now where we're working out a few issues with the car, but it seems to be doing pretty well.
Well, if you're ever disappointed, I'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's true. Beautiful car.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What's the best thing about it?
Actually, the color, I think, I really like the best, and the ghost flames. I really think that provides quite a visual pop when you walk up to the car.
Jim St. John, and I've got a 61 VW bus. It's called a Samba. It's 23 windows, full sunroof. Bought it in Reno out of a junkyard, and have restored it. Been the most challenging thing I've ever done. Parts from Britain, parts from Belgium, South America. It's a hard to restore, but it was worth it.
How did you get the skill to do that? Is it something you've done?
It worked well, yeah. My son is a SCA mechanic and has always liked VWs. We restored a 1956, which we don't have here today. It's still at home. But a little bug, little oval window bug. We decided to take a little more challenging job, and so we took on this 23 window. And that was a little more challenging job than a bug was. But it took us about 3 years to restore it. But it's pretty well finished.
Dennis Kerrigan from Copperton, Utah. Got a 1923 Ford
Bucket. It's a small block Chev, build it from the ground up. Enjoy going to all the car shows. We're entered in the UVU car show. And come down to Barber Brothers to have some fun and go on the cruise up to the college.
Dave Allen, 02 Camaro SS. Pretty well stock. Done a lot of suspension work, but engine-wise, it's pretty well stocked. That's about it.
How long have you had this beauty?
We've had it since about 7 years now. Something like that. No?
Since 03.
03, yeah.
Who gets to drive it the most?
I do. When I'm home. She sneaks it out all the time, though.
My name's Corey Trotter.
What do you got?
1954 Ford F100.
How long have you had this?
About 4 years.
Is this something you acquired, or did you find it, or how did you do it?
I bought it from a friend. He needed some money, and I had a little, and so I bought it from him, and we finished it.
What did it look like when you bought it from him?
It was painted, and the suspension and brakes and everything were done, but none of the trim, none of the interior, and nothing under the hood, so we did all that.
You know how to do that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I don't know how to paint.
You're way ahead of me. What do you like best about this truck?
Color.
It's a showstopper, isn't it?
It does. It looks real good. It's a pretty truck.
My name's Harry Towdy. I'm a professor at UVU, and this is a 20-year project here.
What model is this?
53 GMC. Same age as me. 400 motor, chopped, slammed, smooth, lowered, sucked the grill in about 3 inches and welded the front all together so it's one piece front end.
That is nice.
Huh?
That is nice. You did a good job on it. You can smile about that.
I'm telling you, man. I get behind the wheel of that baby and light them up, and my heart just starts singing. There's no logical reason you buy something like this. It's all emotions and nostalgia and kind of a social identity thing. You know, that's what's happening here, really.
You kind of get attached to it?
Yeah, you see one when you're young or ride in one, and I like the 5-window cab, and well, I just always wanted one. Finally bought one and didn't do anything to it for about 10, 15 years, I guess, and then just started taking parts off and working on them.
Dean Anderson from Taylorsville, and it's a 93 Corvette, and all the gold, 14 karat gold I've got on it. I had some jewelry I melted down. But anyway, it's a pretty good little car to take around to all these car shows. And that car show tomorrow is my favorite one. It's got that swap meet, so it's where I get all my parts for my other rods I got built.
Coming up on 4 o'clock, welcome out to the cruise night, Barber Brothers style. Hey, don't forget inside.
Oh, well, on most of the brackets, when I disassemble they put the roller rockers in that, the engine up, they do some modifications on it, and I just had the brackets gold plated. And when I did that, the gold was fairly cheap. To do the same thing now would cost me a fortune, so luckily I did that then. It's a lot of fun. The kids love it. You know, the little kids love that yellow. Yeah, big bird.
My name's Jay Horrocks, and I've got a 1966 Chevy Impala Super Sport. I was on the DVD a couple years ago, just before the engine let go, or was on its way of letting go. It's a 400 small block, running Edelbrock power, running Edelbrock cam, lifters, intake, SR Torquer heads from World Products. Transmission's turbo 350. The rear end is a 10-bolt with a 308 rear end for drivability. I've had the car for 24 years. I bought it when I was 15 in 1985, and I drive it on the average of 4,000 to 5,000 miles a year. Last year, I brought it to the UVU car show before it was UVU. The motor only had 25 miles on it. So I mean, I barely got it on the road just in time to do the show last year. And I just turned over 2,000 miles on the engine just last week. So we're going down the road.
I'm glad you're having fun with it.
I'll always have fun with it. I enjoy coming down here. After what I went through at work to make it here today, I'm glad I made it.
All right.
It's well worth it.
This is Bob Messick. Got a 66 Chevy Caprice, 383 stroker with 2 4-barrels. Did all the work myself. And I love this cruise every year. This is a true daily driver. Every day to work. It's a lot of fun that way. Well, it's powerful, but it's fun. It's worth it.
My name's Wade Knapp. It's 53 Willys M38A1. Been in my family since it left the Army when I was 5. My dad got it at a government auction. Needs a whole bunch of restoration done on it, but it's fun to take out and play with.
It looks authentic.
Yeah, I bet I got the cheapest paint job here.
You expect to see George C. Patton in the back of that thing.
He'd probably feel right at home.
You've been driving it every year?
Yeah, pretty much. It sat for 15 years when I was a kid because my dad was driving it to Salt Lake and spun a bearing in the motor. So, but I rebuilt the motor 10 years ago and been driving it ever since.
Still find parts for it, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, you can get just about anything on it. So.
Hi, my name's Keith Lang, got 58 Volkswagen with a 1914 engine. A lot of money in the stereo. Custom wheels, disc brakes on the front. It's fun to drive.
Where'd you figure out to get this one?
Well, I bought it for one of my high school buddies in California and just added to it since I bought it.
How long ago?
I've had it a year.
Well, you got a lot in a year, huh?
Yeah. A lot of money in a year.
What do you like best, the stereo or what?
Just driving it. It's different. Nobody else has one. I drive it every day, so.
Well, I'm Larry Webb, live in American Fork. I chased a guy that owned this car for 20 years before he decided to sell it. And we bought it in 1996, and it was a basket case. All kinds of critters were growing in it. We had a tree growing up through the middle of the engine compartment. Other than that, it's been a lot of years putting it together. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of money. It's 1958. Yeah, it was, the front end was busted off of it. They'd used it for a push car with a rail, and but it was all busted up. A lot of work. Still needs work, but it's been fun.
Gerald Olson.
So what you been doing this year?
Well, just taking and doing a few swap meets and anything I want.
How did you get the idea for the taxi?
Well, I just wanted to build something crazy and fun. So I came up with that. Just an idea of one.
I take that.
No. Just something crazy and fun. Something different.
How's the Franklin running?
Good, good. I was going to bring it down, but didn't have enough drivers.
We're going to go look at that.
Yeah.
It's 83. Good to see you again. 83.
Yeah, good to see you.
My name's Steve.
Steve? What you got here, Steve?
I got a 65 GMC generic rat rod.
How's it run?
It runs good. Want to go for a ride? I'll scare you to death in it.
There's a lot of.
It's got a nice wood bed and different odds and ends.
How long you had this?
10 years.
Tell me about it.
That's a 56 Chev, and this is a 65 GMC truck. I bought that from the original owner, my wife's older brother. It's been in the family since 1956.
How'd you get such a beautiful paint job on that?
Yeah, it's won best paint at the Autorama before. You know what the Autorama is?
Tennis Salt Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can see why. We really like
That's
that.
enough. Oh, it's a beautiful paint job. Been on about 15 years.
My name's Todd, 69 El Camino. This is the official, held the land speed record in 2006, 2007. We did for 151 miles an hour in 2006, and 2007 we got it at 188 miles an hour. Our top speed, last year our top speed was 194 miles an hour. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had students that help me all the time. I got another group of students that are getting ready for this year. We're going in September. It's quite a good deal, actually, student-wise. I mean, it's fun. It generates excitement. My students are involved quite heavily, so it's been a good thing. So it's an adventure.
I'm Chris Bogus. I'm the street rod instructor at Utah Valley University. This is one of my projects that I did recently. We teach welding, custom welding, panel fabrication of steel, of aluminum. We do some custom chop topping, sectioning, also some frames and suspension work, custom painting. We've added upholstery now to the program too, and customizing also. I took an actual second-year collision repair during the summer to get started on it through the school, and then after that I took it home and finished up. It was 4 years to get it up and going. I've had it done for 3 years now, but it's been a lot of fun. Get a lot of thumbs up and people driving off the side of the road, and we think they're crazy. And I even had a Midville police officer pull up beside me and was hanging out the window taking pictures with his camera the other day. I mean, it was crazy. So I pulled over and we talked for a while. He was really, impressed. So kind of neat.
What's your name?
Cannon.
And what have you got here?
A junior dragster.
What do you do with this?
Drive.
Race it?
Drag race.
Where do you drag race it?
Rocky Mountain Raceway.
Oh, that's a nice place, isn't it?
Yeah.
How fast does this go?
Mine goes 30.
Oh, that's good. You get to wear all this kind of stuff when you race it?
Yeah. Fire suit with gloves and helmet and neck brace and fire stuff.
Greg Scott. We brought a couple cars here today. I have an 06 Mustang GT with a Roush appearance package on it, with a few other little customized things like the Boss 302 looking C stripes on the side and that way, and then have the Cobra that I've had, the 65 Factory 5 Cobra, and I built that one 8 years ago. It's been kind of fun to drive it to these shows, and then this one especially is a good show. We're happy to be here, and they put on a great show. And
Richard Trotter, and when we were kids we grew up riding tote goats and stuff, and we kind of thought we'd show the other generation here now what they were and what they looked like, and we started doing it. We found more and more people interested in
trying to restore tote goats and riding them around, and so it's growing and growing. They were made in Provo, Utah, was the original factory, and the designer of them, Ralph Bonham, he's here today too. And he's about 80 years old now, but he's still pretty sharp. But it's been really fun to do.
My name's Cliff Knox, and I'm a member of the Cache Valley Cruising Association. And this is our giveaway car for this year's show. It's a 37 Ford. It's been chopped, modified, has a 302 cubic inch Ford and an automatic Ford Auto Trans in it. And it'll be given away July 4th and 5th up at Cache Valley at Logan at the County Fair.
Robert Laird, and we're the Wasatch Chevy Clubs, and we got about 7 cars here today. We do the Heber Show for breast cancer, and we've been really welcomed by Heber. Heber has really helped us out. Right now we got about 16 members in the club, and we have a meeting every month, and we're looking for new members, and so if people are interested, they need to just get a hold of the Wasatch Chevy Club, and we'll explain what we do, and we could always use help putting on a Heber show.
I'm Lloyd Thornton. I'm a mechanic, and I've got a couple cars here at the car show. I have a 49 Hudson, and I have a 1962 AMC Rambler. And the Hudson here, I have just an old car, got it all fixed up. It's kind of a rat rod, so we haven't really painted it, and have a little fun with it. I drive it every day. The Rambler I have painted, completed with interior and paint, and I also drive that every day. The old Hudson has been sitting since '74, and just out in the field, just kind of rusting away, and so I kind of revived it. And the AMC Rambler, it is pretty rare, 2-door, has 59,000 original miles, and runs real good.
Ken Rice, it's a 2002 Corvette.
Have you been partial to Corvettes?
Yes, I think it's the only car made. I've owned 5.
Starting when?
I had a 1965 with a 300 horsepower, and I got tired of Mustangs and GTOs beating me, so I went and bought a 66 427, the big block, 425 horse, and that ended the day's cars out running it. Bought a little 63 split window, and then I ended up buying a 96, and then I ended up buying this one here.
Where did you find that taillight stuff, the flames?
A guy laser cutted them out of Idaho. I've always had red cars. There's only 2 colors I think there is, which is red and ugly. That's the only 2 colors.
We went to Hot August Nights, and we saw this California car, and it was a deal we just couldn't pass up. And guess what? She thought she was in Tijuana, so she talked the guy down. And he delivered it. Clear from California up here. And we did all that cosmetic work on it, and there you see it. It's all done. We got 250 hours just in the paint job. Gene Stark, and this is Donna.
Hi. And you got a classic.
After 32 years, I got my convertible.
My name is Don Clark. I'm the president of the Buick Club here in Utah. I think we've been a club for about 4 years in Utah. In the wintertime, we have indoors where we visit different clubs, displays of cars, Ardell Browns, and in the summertime we go on cruises. We come to car shows like this, and we have fun activities as we go along this club. Buicks are primarily noted for their straight 8 engine and overhead valve. Back in the late 20s, they started to make 8-cylinder inline engines with the overhead valves. And that's what they're really noted for, is the overhead valve engine. They have cars all the way from 1970s down to 1920s. People who have their Buicks, like you see here behind me and alongside me, they love their Buicks. They think it's the best car ever.
My name is D. Jackman. Been coming to the swap meet for about 20 years. Enjoy toys, collected toys for about 23 years. They're always fun and to find and enjoy them. These ones on the table right here are Smith Miller toys, made in California in the 50s. Really hard to find a real nice Smith Miller truck. Those are all clean and complete. Got the landing gears and the tailgates on them. Have a little shop up in Salt Lake on 3rd South called Jitterbug Antiques and Toys, and it's fun to do this. Been having a lot of fun at it for a lot of years. Really enjoy it.
My name is Brent Perry, Payson, Utah, and it's a 65 Buick Electra, like I said. It's a convertible with a 401 nailhead V8. It's got air conditioning, which was kind of rare in 65 for a convertible, and we've done most of it. It's in pretty good shape. We're asking $11,000 for it. It's pretty reasonable. A lot of chrome work, new top, new tires, new paint, mostly new upholstery. So yeah, it's in pretty good shape. Thanks.
I have a little 67 Camaro convertible here for sale. I'm Richard Rouse. I've got several cars. This is one of them, and I brought it down to sell. And it's a 327 4-speed, number matching car. Runs very well. It's all restored, and I hope I'll sell it. It come out of back east. It come out of a museum. It was already done. Done a very well job. There's no patch panels or anything in it. It's all repainted.
Phil Himmelberger. I've got a 208 Corvette. I used to, I've had quite a few older cars, antique cars, classic cars, and I got to the point where I didn't want to work anymore. I've always wanted a Corvette, so that's why I went out and bought me a new Corvette. That's how I ended up with it. Yep, I always wanted one, so I figured this, I wasn't getting any younger, so I better grab it. Oh, I've had a 68 Camaro SS 396 convertible, 62 Chevy hardtop Impala, 54 Chevy hardtop, 51 Ford coupe, all customized. Had a Corvair.
My name is Fred Orm, and I have a 1932 Plymouth PB rumble seat coupe. I've always been a Mopar fan, and especially of the long hood cars. I have restored the body, and then I have a Corvette LT1 engine, 700 R4 transmission, 4-wheel discs and everything, so I can drive it on the road. And it's a great car, a lot of fun.
They see that old car body, they don't think you're going to pass them, right?
Right. Yeah, we've surprised a lot of cars, come up on them and pass them.
Don't those Corvettes get pretty good mileage?
It does pretty good as long as I keep the foot out of it.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
This is my stepdad's 81 Corvette, and he got it all restored. And my name's Antonia, and he had it all redone for a whole year. The body was off for a whole year, and he has, instead of having the normal emblems on it, he has C5 emblems. He put a third brake light in there, and he just changed a bunch of things on it.
I'm Ron Smith, and I have a little 34 5-window Ford coupe.
If you want more information on
And
this,
this is
again,
about
you can
as
call the Tribune this
original
morning.
as
So let's find out what it takes to make a difference.
me.
Your voice can be heard.
And I'm not
Talk
original.
to, the barber.
So everything's been done, modified on it.
And it's unsaid,
And it's
if you,
it's really my
want
wife's
to stop
car.
by the dealership, we can help
She
you
lets
there
me drive
also.
it. Well, it's been done by probably a half a dozen different groups of guys, a little bit every time they do something, then they sell it, and the next one will do something, and so it just goes on and on. So probably about 6-7 years ago, and a lot of the work I did on the underneath rather than the outer part.
I'm Phil Jones, live in Salt Lake City, 32 Ford 5-window. I've had the car about 20 years, I guess. Have done most of the mechanical work, did not do, the paint on it is about 40 years old. And it drives really well. It's a nice little car. The 32 Ford is kind of one of the icons of hot rods, and I've always liked the 32. So I guess that's why.
Breakfast, lunch available at the show. Sherry's up here at the
Well,
table.
it's
If
fun.
you would like to find
I
out more
enjoy
about
it.
the
It is a 1912 Packard dump truck. It's the only one left. There were 11 total made to work at the Intermountain Brickyard. And my dad got it when he was 5, so it's been in the family since he was 60, or for 60 years now. And it sat in the corner of our barn for about 20 years. He decided to restore it about 10 years ago, and here it is. So it's run the whole time. It never stopped running. And it took them about 1,000 man-hours to completely redo it.
It's for they made them for the Army as a prototype, from what I understand, and they decided not to use that particular model, so they just sold the 11 off.
Yeah, so they sold them to the brickyard. So they sold the 11 to the brickyard, and since there wasn't anything to replace them, as trucks broke down, they started stealing parts from other trucks, and so that ended up being the only one that actually ran.
That particular one carried bricks from the Murray Brickyard to build Utah State University.
And when my dad started redoing it, there's that odometer in the tire, and it was over 900,000 miles. Max speed is like 11, 12 miles an hour. Half a turn, it starts every time, so.
Amazing. I'm Don Mazzoni. It's a 77 half-ton four-wheel drive GMC. Had it for a long time. My kids learned how to drive a stick in it, and now the grandkids ride in it. It's an old restoration. It's been done for over 10 years. It was home built, first paint job, a lot of fun. It's all done in the garage and home. The kids, the grandkids like the loud pipes. They get a real kick out of it.
I'm Cody Baird. We have Bloody Knuckles Chop Shop. We chop cars, custom suspension, air ride, paint, you name it, we can do it. And we've got a 6.6 liter Duramax diesel stuffed into a 1950 Chrysler. It's chopped 6 inches in the front, 8 inches in the back. It goes pretty good. 59 Cadillac, we chopped 4 inches out of the roof. We put a 517 cubic inch Cadillac big block in it, and it's also going to go down the road pretty well. So
how do you get that up off the ground?
It's got air suspension under it, so a couple switches and it's up in the air.
Keith Petty. This is a 63 Nova Chevy 2 SS. The only thing on it that is not stock is somebody added a overflow tank for the radiator and painted it from ermine white to red, which is what the interior was. So we're going to take it back to the original ermine white, which is what it would have been. Stock factory 6-cylinder, couldn't get a V8 in 63. 63 was the first year of the SS for the Nova, so it's about as stock as they come. The other car is a 69 Datsun 2000 Roadster, also known as a Fairlady. It has 77,000 original miles on it. The motor's been rebuilt once. I'm fourth owner on it. I've got all documentation from the day that it was purchased from Randy's Datsun at 2775 South Main Street in Salt Lake. Screaming fast car. The Nova is actually my wife's. She spotted it. When I asked her, what do you think, dear? She said, get it, so it's hers. And the Roadster's the one I drive.
My name's Kim Petty, and my husband and I were kind of doing a Sunday drive around the town looking for old cars that might have been sleepers, and I saw this in Draper on somebody's driveway, and you heard all the rest of the story.
For sale, huh?
Yeah.
Sold.
You bet.
Walt Jones. I have a 1969 Pontiac Judge GTO. The car is actually, we found the car in a junkyard in New Jersey. Spent 2.5 years restoring it. It was total basket case. All the interior's out. The car's supposed to be actually dark green with a green interior and green top, but I didn't like it, so it's actually Liberty Blue, which is correct. It's got the right striping, black interior, and a white top for the top. And it's very, very rare because it's a convertible with air conditioning, and being a convertible and being a Judge is extremely rare. So it's probably one of the rare ones around. I built it just as a daily driver. I used to drive it to work every day. It's got about 52,000 original miles on it. The car was wrecked and totaled in 1971. It was bought by a little lady in New Jersey. She rolled it up on the side, passenger side, and went to the junkyard. It was built in Baltimore, and it just sat. So it's a true number matching car.
Ray knows me. Danny Loveless is my name. Been over here about every year, and we brought two vehicles this year. We brought my Belvedere, which is my land car, and the Biesmeyer, which is the sea car, or water vessel. These are strictly race boats. That's all we do with them is race them. They're not ski boats or play boats. They have races in Arizona, California, Washington. Our next race is the end of June in Idaho, in Burley, Idaho. I'm the owner now. I used to drive, but my back made it so that I can't really do it anymore. So my son drives some of the time, and then we have another kid that drives quite a bit of the time. So, but this boat right here with this engine combination, it would probably go around 120 here in Utah, 125. But that's who we are.
Ryan Wooten, Highland City, Utah. Just brought our boat out to the car show. Re-race, yep. I'm just getting into it, so I'm more of a rookie. But Danny's kind of showing me the ropes. He built the motor for it, and just kind of going to town on it. Yeah, it's a 482 cubic inch Chevy, injected, aluminum heads, alcohol, runs on alcohol. We go anywhere from Idaho, Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, all over.
Russ Hyatt, 73 Corvette, 454 with a 5-speed Tremec. Runs like crazy. It's 20 miles a gallon on the road, cruising. It was finished 4 weeks ago. Still a newlywed. It is, it's awesome. A lot of fun to drive. I owned one, sold one 15 years ago, and I've always wanted another one, so I had a chance and bought this one.
Triple R registration.
That's the paint job.
That's the paint place. It's a bodywork too.
And you did
Great
the
crew.
engine.
Great crew.
Where'd you do the engine? Home?
In my garage at home. Backyard mechanic.
I'm Doug Harward.
And who belongs to this car?
My wife Annette. She likes the 50s cars, and I do the cars with running boards. I told her one day I would build her a car. So I seen this car over in Colorado at a swap meet. I didn't have the money to buy it. I had a 58 Impala, took it to the coast, sold it, and then called the guy and had this delivered to my house. And we took 9 months, and she wouldn't feed me until I worked on the car. Is that good enough?
That's great.
She told me exactly the color she wanted. And
You customize it and everything?
We customized it and everything. Took her 6 hours to tape them pins, the flames on that car. 15 minutes to shoot, 6 hours to tape. Yeah, they've been a classic forever, and they will never go away.
Roger Taylor. I have a 1941 Chevrolet Coupe. It took me 4 years to build it, and it's bright red. I've driven it on Route 66 3 times. Been on a lot of trips. It has a 350 V8 in it. It's a straight rod. It's a lot of fun. Drives great. Good driver. I enjoy it.
I'm Dick Brooks from Idaho Falls, Idaho, and my car is a '59 Chevy Bel Air Post. Yeah, I bought it from a guy that had it for 25 years. It was painted 15 years ago.
Well, tell me, guys, has it been rough on you today?
Hey, life's tough and then we die.
Unbelievable of the talent that these people have.
Are you keeping him?
Well, I'm trying to. But he used to be a friend of mine until this show. And so I've had it.
8 hours of this, you've had it.
I've had it.
I don't spend this much time with my wife.
When it comes to the fork in the road, you're gone. You have to just go, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Forever.